Okay, I'm up to 46.2 hours, I think. Roughly 46 hours. And today I'm going into a few alpine lakes, and back behind me there in the truck, that's Ruby. And she's gonna take me up there and yeah, show me how to get in there. So we're just gonna put fuel in the plane right now, fill it right up. Beautiful day here in Pitt Meadows. I think it's gonna be like 27, 28 degrees, getting real hot. So we'll see you up in the lakes later.
We departed off the water from Pitt Meadows. The airport code is CAJ8, Charlie Alpha Juliet 8. From there, we flew up the Pitt River to Pitt Lake. Pitt Lake is one of the largest tidal lakes in the world. We weaved our way through the valleys, flew over Fire Lake, which was still frozen at the time, then into Glacier Lake. After a shutdown at Glacier Lake, we departed north up to the Lillooet River, flew southeast down the river to Harrison Lake, along the shoreline to Long Island. Once we reached Long Island, we flew west past Mount McRae to Chehalis Lake, which is not labeled on the VNC. We did a landing or two in Chehalis and then departed south and then west back to Stave Lake, Lillooet Lake, to the Fraser, and back to Pitt Meadows. Chehalis is accessible by 4x4 only. It has excellent camping if you can get in there. We could. So my wife and I drove in for some camping. You'll see some of this later in the episode.
Traffic, Beach 174, turning final runway.
Buy the Amazon batteries, they say they're longer life. They just lasted like 3 days. Long lasting.
Right now I'm talking about how displeased I am with the life of the Amazon brand batteries I bought. I'm having some trouble getting the headset audio to work in the airplane. I think I've finally found the solution with the cable from pilotusa.com. However, you likely won't hear any headset audio on my channel for a few more videos. That's Fire Lake. As you can see, it still has ice on it. Rumor has it there's a cabin in there on the lake. Hopefully I make it there someday. Up ahead, on the west side of Fire Lake, is Glacier Lake, and that's where we're heading. We did a high pass looking for any signs of wind direction, such as wind shadows, and decided to land south. For those of you that don't know, a wind shadow refers to the area on the leeward or downward side of an obstacle or barrier where the wind's speed and turbulence are reduced. Wind shadows occur when the flow of air is obstructed by an object, such as a mountain or other geographic features. We saw a wind shadow on the north side of a small island on Glacier Lake. This indicates the wind is from the south. The approach in the Cessna 180 on floats is flown at 80 miles an hour with 20 degrees of flaps. A few subscribers have indicated in the comments they want more raw, plain audio with no music. So here you go. Enjoy. Very intelligent because now we got this big long taxi.
We can put it back on the stem.
Ruby knew a good spot to beach the plane on a little island on the lake, as she's been there before. So we stopped for a breath of fresh air and a few vistas.
What's that? Yep, mags are off, everything's off. Oh!
That's okay. We got bumpers on it for a reason.
Okay, we just landed here and I don't even know the name of this lake, but I'll show you. And it's incredible. Way back in the mountains. Sweet! You guys all tied up there?
I got out the drone, took a few aerial shots, and then we were on our way. We took off south, as you would expect, and then turned north towards the Lillooet River. Just north of Glacier Lake, on the Lillooet River, is a little reserve called Skookumchuck. Skookumchuck is also a popular whitewater kayaking and rafting destination. The name Skookumchuck comes from the Chinook jargon term that means strong water or turbulent water. We kept the plane over the water and flew down the river to Harrison Lake. The Harrison area is pretty cool if you like to get off the beaten path and explore. Lots of Forest Service roads. I'd like to get out there on the dirt bike sometime to explore. There are even some natural hot springs on the east side of the lake, but they're a bit of a trek to get to. At the north end of Harrison, there's also an old decommissioned gravel runway called Tapella. Likely there for past logging camps and now not maintained. I'll let you enjoy the flight down the Lillooet River with some more raw audio. As we flew down the west side of Harrison Lake, we accidentally took a life. The life of a bug out for an afternoon stroll. Warning, this content might not be suitable for some viewers. Ready? Here it comes. Now. We were quickly able to move on from the tragic event and proceeded to Chehalis Lake. Up ahead you see Long Island, where we'll turn west towards Chehalis. Chehalis Lake is a freshwater lake located approximately 120 kilometers northeast of Vancouver in the Fraser Valley region. There are several campsites and recreational areas around Chehalis Lake, providing campers with access to the scenic surroundings. These campgrounds are typically well maintained and offer basic amenities. The lake is accessible by 4x4 only via the Chehalis Forest Service Road, which connects to Highway 7. It was so sweet that I had to drive back in with my wife to experience some camping, which I'll show you. Right now we are approaching from the north and landing south. The lake is really long. You could probably land and take off 4 or 5 times if you wanted to. On the right, the west side, is where the camping is. We did a few landings north and south because the wind was very light and variable. As mentioned, I had to drive back in to experience what the camping was like. So I drove back in with my wife about a month later. Here is some footage from that trip. Most of BC was on fire, and Chehalis was no exception. You can see the fire burning to the north, where we flew in a month prior. This is the main campground on the water. There's at least 10 sites. Despite the smoke, it was still an incredible place to camp. I have an Alucab contour canopy with a Capit Evergreen 2.0 rooftop tent. Pretty happy with both products. I bought it from Capit in Abbotsford. Kevin and the crew there were great. To the left, you can see where there was a huge landslide about 10 years ago. That's a huge piece of real estate to go into the water. I tried my luck fishing. Had none. But I hear the lake was stocked about 4 years ago with sockeye. The water was super clean and the temperature was very tolerable. Again, remember this campsite is 4x4 access only. The Forest Service Road in isn't that bad. However, the last 500 meters down to the lake is quite treacherous. If you're into camping and have a 4x4, I suggest you give Chehalis a try. We took off north and departed south out of Chehalis, and then flew west back to Stave Lake, and then down through Lillooet Lake, and finally back to Pitt Meadows, where the river was absolutely littered with debris. Enjoy the flight back to Pitt Meadows.
Tower, Floatplane, Golf Juliet, Quebec Delta, 600 feet, descending 500 feet, Albion, inbound for the water with Delta. Six, 773, Golf Juliet, Quebec Delta. Okay, Tower, Juliet, Quebec Delta, Golden Ridge.
Wow, horrible down here.
Oh yeah.
Great landing
Like a
area.
pro!
You did great.
Shit.
Now to get through this maze of trees.
Look at the crap, man. There's so much crap.
Yeah, this is
How am I gonna get through this? I'm gonna have to go like around out through. There's no way I'm gonna miss it all.
You're not gonna miss it all. Just mainly miss the big what?
Yeah, I'm gonna go
this
just kind of out
is
and around
fun.
here. See what the. Actually, not yet.
Beautiful. You're a great pilot.
Thanks, Ruby.
Pleasure to fly with you.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I've got a goal to try to reach 1,000 subscribers. See you in the next one.